Alright, well, welcome everyone. This is day 2 of the journey, and I'm going to start off by saying today we did lose over $2,000 total. 266 live dollars and then $2,000 on our demos. I'm going to show you guys how I lost, where I could have won, where I held myself back from getting that money back because I chose discipline over profit, which is process over profit, which is something I'm going to talk about in the end of this video. And I do believe if you stay to the end, or if at least you go watch the end, you don't want to watch trade recap, go watch what I'm going to say at the end, because I believe that that is more important than probably this trade recap, even though this trade recap is extremely important to show losses and how to avoid them and where to see profits in the losses. Sounds kind of odd right now, but just stay, watch, learn, and you will see, or just skip and you will see. But this shouldn't be a very long video for you guys today. Let's get it started. Today I did lose over $2,000. Like I said, I lost $266 on a live. I can show you guys that right here because y'all can literally boom, there's the account. It's at 932. As we saw yesterday, it was at like 1,199. So y'all can do the math right there real quick. But yeah, that's that. And to show you guys also the express accounts, boom, that's what they're sitting at. So yesterday we were only down $75. Today we're down that amount, and multiply that by 4 because we are on a leader account. And as you guys can see, all the follower accounts have the same exact P&O. Let's get straight to it. Let's just get to where I lost, how I lost, what I did to lose, and how I could have made my profit back, why I chose not to, and all the rights, wrongs, and all my confluences for today's trade, because I do believe that all my confluences today are still extremely valuable and are still going to give me high probability in my trades for however long. This is all from yesterday. All right, we will look at this. So here we have an SMT here between this low and this low, and we had an SMT between these highs too, just so you guys can see. There it is. And I want you guys to understand the fact that if we have two SMTs like this, we need to look more into it, and that's what we should always do. We need to look at more price action. I saw this and I was like, okay, looking at the daily, I'm still more bearish, just like yesterday, but I went and dropped down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, I start to see that order flow was starting to look bullish. Why did order flow start looking bullish, TD Mike? Well, simple. Okay, we have fair value gap respected here at the Asian session of yesterday, moved up, broke above here, created another order block, things like that. But okay, we're still in this leg. Daniel, we're still in this leg. We are not above here to say that we are bullish. Okay, well, what are we above to say that we're bullish? This right here. Put the fib on here. We're going to check our optimal trade entry. Okay, nice. The other way. And there you go. Check our optimal trade entry here. At 6 a.m. we realized that here closed above the 79% level, which is this top line. So we closed above optimal trade entry, which means we are closed above the range where price could go up to and retrace. That's another confluence I had for today. Let me put this back just at equilibrium and get that out of here. All right, I'm gonna erase all of this. There we go. So I'm looking here. This is buy side. So now my draw is looking at here. You'll see exactly where I wrote that as buy side in just a second. There you go. Pretty obvious highs over here, and that's exactly where price went to. Why did I mark that as buy side? You can literally go look at my TikTok, and I had that buy side marked before I even entered my position, and I said even after I lost, price will still proceed and go up here. I was just in here at the wrong time. Go watch my TikTok. You will see that I did say that, and all the evidence is there, nothing filtered, because I said this before price had even printed. So here we're looking at a hindsight, and you guys might say, Daniel, you're lying. Here it is for you guys straight to your face. Now let's look back into this over here. Okay, yeah, we did break above here. We have an SM. This low right here was an SMT. I'll leave that for you guys to go check with yourself. I'm not going to do all the work for you guys. I want you at least to go and try to get used to doing things on your own. We broke above here. Okay, we're moving on. Da, 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 da. Perfectly fine. I'm not really too interested about here. I want to see more of what's happening here. What happens is we get an SMT between here. This is between 11, so Asia session, and the new day, which is at 1. Cool, we get this SMT. I will show you guys that. Boom, right there. And there you go. You guys can see this too, I guess. I hope y'all paused the video and went and go check that out. Maybe. But yeah, this is that 4-hour fair value gap that I showed. Just to show you guys that. Again, super, super quick. Let's move on. Now, I'm looking at here. We're waiting. This is our 9 a.m. right here. So this is where 9:30 open happened. I'm looking and I see this is my draw now. What do I see is that there is this fair value gap. Okay, that interests me a lot. That was my point of liquidity. Why? Let's also drop to the 15-minute. This fair value gap was perfectly aligned with these two relative equal lows here on the NASDAQ, which would have been my sell side liquidity. And I showed you guys where I had marked the buy side from before I took this trade. Here would have been my first take profit. And I said I'll ride my evals I'll close half my position on the evals and I'll let the rest ride here. So 50% at this high and then 50% at this high. I said this right when I entered. What happened next? I didn't enter, I'm sorry. This is what happened. We came in here. What am I seeing? There was an SMT between these two lows. This and let's go to ES. Boom, right there. 9:30, 9:35. Same pretty, it's SMT pretty much. There it is. 9:35. Oh, 9:30. Why do I go and I choose to take longs on ES? ES is a stronger pair. We're looking for the stronger pair. What happened also was more confirmation on the 5-minute on ES. What do we see? We came into a fair value gap right here. Let me just mark this out for you guys. Super quick. And I'm sorry about the extra noise, guys, if you guys can even hear that. And then here we have also an order block that we came down into. Boom, price came here, and then this is where I'm looking to get in now. Drop to the 1 minute. After I drop to the 1 minute, what do I see? Easy, obvious entry that I will usually take. The only thing missing here was just the fair value gap, but I still take these, and these are still very high probability trades. Would have taken this. That's the take profit at that high, and this would have been a 12.75. We came, we were moving around here, ended up going and getting stopped out. Now, where I finished this day, and I told myself, and I told you guys here on YouTube, I'm going to take one trade a day, and that's what I wanted to stick with. And I'll talk more about this in the end after I show you guys what could have been a winning trade, why process is more important than profit, and how it can affect you in the long run. So that's a very important part of this video. I might even do that little mark thing where you guys can literally just go watch that part of the video, me talking about process over profit. And I mean that by discipline and the mental side of things is over the profit and the money that you always make. Because whenever that part is right, then what proceeds right after is the profits. So here's the losing trade that I had today. That's pretty much it over here. All I have to show, and that's what you guys see on all of them. Now, what is there for me to see as my winning trade? Let's go over here. And I'm still bullish on this day. I still do believe this high is a draw on liquidity, and on the NASDAQ, that high is still a draw. Those highs right here, still a draw on liquidity. What happens is we're still in this 1 hour gap, and if we had waited, what we would have seen is, so here's that chop that we got over here, and that's where we got stopped out. Price came, went again, and then gave us another SMT, an internal. There was this SMT here, but then what happened is here, what I want to say is on ES, price came to a discount. Okay, discounted 1 hour fair value gap, right? And that's, if I show you this here, we got stopped out before we got in up here, and this was the low, so nothing has gone under into the discounted. So if we had waited for one of the pairs to go into a discount, that would have been great. What happened was we took the trade on ES, and NASDAQ over here was the one. Nasdaq wouldn't have even given us a trade, and I'm still glad, and I will still keep saying this. Yes, I lost, but my discipline and my patience pays me so much more than I lose. Here, what happened was today was just price was waiting on this 5 minute kind of to play out, and that's what happened. It chopped up here, and then it let it play out. This looks disgusting to me. This is absolute chop, but it's perfectly fine because when I had seen this 5 minute confirmation, I wanted to go back in. I just did not because that's not where my risk is. Why? Because we're still respecting this hourly fair value gap, and we had an SMT between these lows right here, 10 and 1010. So 10 and 1010. There also was another SMT, yes, right here. 945 and 10. So that's the one I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, 945 and 10. Saying that NASDAQ is now stronger, and if we do want to enter a long, we want to get in on the NASDAQ. Well, what I have done here, there's two ways I could have gotten in on this trade. One, I'll show you guys both ways I could have entered. One, put a fib between here and here. That's the leg that broke structure. That's the leg that had the change in state of delivery. Go and find, drop down from the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and find myself a discounted fair value gap. Boom, right there. Stop under the low, SMT low 2, and target that high. That's entry 1. So we could have done that to enter on a winning trade to make our profits back. 2, could have just stuck to the higher time frame, such as which is the 5 minute here. That's what I'm referring to as a higher time frame, and just simply entered off of this change in state of delivery. Change state of delivery, stop under the low, and we target this high. Those are two ways I could have entered to make a profit and make my money back, even if I went in half risk, because if I do decide to take a second trade a day, which I said on this I won't, but if I do, I would enter half risk. So if I'm entering on that 50K evals, I would risk $250 each on the second trade. If I am on my live, then I'll risk 125 each, or just one account. So I'd risk 125 on that one account for that second trade to make the profits back. Would have played out great today, but I told you guys and I told me that it's going to be one trade, so I stuck to that. I stuck to the discipline, and here's the receipts for you guys. Y'all can obviously see that I just did take a $500 trade on here. Y'all can do the math. I'm doing this at, as you guys can see, this is New York time, so it's 10:06. So 9:06 here in Central Time because I live in Texas. So that's, well, you guys can see I'm doing this pretty late at night. So after all this orders and stuff has already been processed through. That's pretty much it for this, the trade recaps. But what I do want to talk about is the process over profit. I learned that from one of my mentors. And whenever he says process over profit, he means you want to do things right over getting money. Because let's say you do, let's say I took the second trade today and I showed you guys, okay, I made my money back. Everyone that doesn't know how to trade would be like, okay, yeah, oh, 2 days in a row, he's making money. Dude, this guy knows what he's doing. No. But people that actually know how to trade, no. You said you're going to take one trade a day. You took two. You're breaking your rules. If you break your rules, you're done. Because what happens if I lost that? Now I'm down 750. But then I'm used to breaking my rules. So I would have been like, okay, one more 250 won't hurt. I would have been down $1,000 in a day. And I've been down that hole where you just keep digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper because you don't have the process. You don't stick to your rules. You're not disciplined enough to stick to any rules, any model. And if you don't do that, then you will never, never, ever be a profitable trader. Why? Because discipline and the patience and being able to stick to what you say and to the risk parameters that you tell yourself and that I am telling you guys, and to stick to the process and not worry about the money, because you know the money is a byproduct of the process and a byproduct of the discipline that you show, then you truly see a different side of things. On TikTok, I posted, I said, try to be disciplined for 1 month and watch the change happen in your trading or anything overall. If you're disciplined in a 1 month, it will change so much for what you are doing. If you show that I'm going to move this here for you guys so y'all can just see me talking. There's no point of this chart. If you guys go and prove to yourself that you can stick to a process You can learn any model. Realistically, you can learn any trading model because almost all of them work. You can learn any trading model and make it work. Why? Because you have a process. You have a risk management plan that you stick to. You have things that you write down, that you tell yourself, and that you stick to. Even if it makes you, and I used to do this, literally write sticky notes, stick them on your monitor. Every single day, you just see them right there, big, bold on your monitor. If you don't do them, then there's something up here going wrong. That means you need to fix this before you can even trade. If you can't have this right before you trade, you're not going to be profitable. If you're already trading and this, your mental, your discipline, you're not process focused rather than like if you are rather profit focused than process focused, you will never find success. Simple as that. You might find short-term success, but never long-term success because short-term success can come, profit can come so easy, but it can be taken away just way faster than it comes. And I've experienced that. I've had I've had multiple funded, not two, I've had multiple funded accounts that I've had and blown. I've decided to full port accounts, blown. And there were ones that I was getting payouts from, blown. I've been through so much in the past over 2.5 years of my trading. And I'm here to tell you guys that it is a big fact in this industry. There's such a big part of it that's mental. And I know you guys see a bunch of other influencers on here saying that. And you tell yourself, okay, no, you know what? No, it's what am I trading for? I'm trading for money. That's the byproduct. That's I want to make this my biggest thing. If there's a one thing you write down in your notes, if there's a one thing that you stick in your mind and remember, profit is the byproduct of a good, disciplined process trader. If you are a disciplined and processed trader, if you focus on good process and good discipline and good mental side of things, money is a byproduct of that. I don't care if you trade ICT strategy, TGR strategy, Justin Werline strategy, Mamba FX strategy, FX Alex, Lambo Raul, whoever you want to mention. I don't care who. You trade my strategy whenever I decide to tell my strategy is pretty simple. I'm really laying it out here. If you know smart money concepts, you can tell I can enter like you see what I'm doing. It's not I'm not hiding anything. Any strategy works, but the process is what matters most and the discipline is what matters most. And if you don't have that, it will never work out ever. Plain and simple as that. I've said this so much in this span of what 3, 4, 5 minutes. I'm gonna leave you guys off with that. I hope that sticks with you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. But we are not trading Friday because that is NFP, and on Friday I will make a whole video just about discipline and about the mental side of things because that is extremely important. I'll make it a 10-minute video. I'll put on 10. I'll do whatever. We'll make it a very short video just so you guys can stick and watch and learn. And that's it. And I'll leave you guys for that. Go check out my other video from yesterday to see a profit trade. Just go check it out. Go see what I did. Differences. Maybe you realize something that I'm missing. And you can go and experiment with my trading for yourself to see what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right and the differences. And yeah, go check out all my socials, my TikTok and my YouTube. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you.